account on the cloud. Anybody can have access to that.
Okay.
Any of us, anyway.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Josh. I just need to proceed with a little bit more faith.
Well, no,
It changed.
When they change it, it's like you feel like, ah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm already live, so.
Okay.
All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see if. Okay, I guess we're live, so it didn't really give me any warning. Hello, everybody. Let's just start. I think we're live already. So welcome to another SRVIVRS Share. I'm Elizabeth Crapo, and this is Elijah and Krissy Rich. They are our sweet dear friends from Lehi, Utah. And they have 7 daughters. And I had the pleasure of connecting with Krissy after we lost Mara. And so, you know, after you lose a loved one, particularly a child, there becomes a network of friends that you are so grateful to meet. You're sad for the reasons that you meet, but the connection that is there is so valuable. So grateful. I'm gonna push record now. So I'm gonna start over. This is Elijah and Krissy Rich. I'm Elizabeth Crapo with SRVIVRS, and they're joining us tonight to share their story of their daughter. They have 7 daughters. They are from Lehi, Utah, and I had the pleasure of meeting Krissy through connection after we lost Mara. And I'm grateful for her. She was a great support for me, someone that I could reach out to and connect to. And I loved that she was very vulnerable through some of her grief journey. She would do these Facebook Lives and I would watch them, and they really helped me. So I'm grateful for her and her desire to want to help others. So I thought it was a perfect fit for her to come onto our SRVIVRS Share tonight and be able to share her story with her husband. And anyway, so we're grateful for you guys joining us tonight. And I'll turn the time over to you to share your story, and thanks again for being with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth, for having us and putting this together. It's pretty amazing that you're doing this actually, you know, so soon after, and just helping people out. So I just think that's pretty amazing. And so I'm Krissy Rich, and we have 7 daughters, and I wanted to just kind of like share how this all came to be, and like, how do you heal from something so tragic, right? And so a lot of people on this page, like I went through and I looked through, and it's not really for everyone has lost a child, but it's like different kinds of loss is what they've had. And they've had all these different kinds of experiences that are really difficult. And how do you make it through? Because, you know, we don't know what somebody else's heart is, right? Like what's hard for one person and everything like that. So, well, we got married 21 years ago. So we just like celebrated our 21st, you know, wedding anniversary. And I mean, if you do the math on that, 21 divided by 7 is like every 3 years, but we actually crammed that into much closer. Yeah. So our oldest is 18, and then we have a 16, 14, 12, 8 and 6. And then Mayzie would be 3. And so we've got like a wide range of children, you know, as do you. But when we first got married, I thought it was funny because we got pregnant, and my husband's like,
she got pregnant.
I got pregnant.
I didn't get pregnant.
He did not get pregnant. and he was like so excited. He's like, oh, we should go natural. Like I totally helped my dogs have babies.
Okay, so I was doing service at a place, and I met this guy, and he's like,
he's gonna qualify.
He asked, I'm like, I told him my wife is pregnant. We're gonna have our first child. She's like, oh, my daughter's a doula. And I'm like, a doula? What's that? And she's like, oh, she teaches childbirth classes. And I'm like, perfect. I'd love to learn that. And she said, well, it's a natural childbirth. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of grew up on a farm. I've given birth to all sorts of animals.
Given birth to animals?
Well, I've helped birth other animals. And I'm like, this will be crazy, right? So
you guys can imagine my initial reaction was like, well, we aren't having this baby come out of us. Like, I'm the only one who's going to be birthing this baby. But I did learn, and we did take this class, and it was a really great thing. So with a lot of prayer and things like that, we actually decided at the last minute to do home births. And so for that, I mean, a lot of people are actually doing that now, but for us, it was kind of like new and not a lot of people were doing it. And so, you know, we had our first at homes, and then we just kept, you know, learning and growing and understanding more. Well, by our 5th baby, I had somebody approach me and want to do a story on in the newspaper. What was it called?
It was the Mercury News in San Jose.
So
we
it's
were
just
living
kind
in
of
Fremont, California. And our midwife had a friend that worked at the paper who introduced us to this journalist who came to the house and came and interviewed us. And next thing you know, we're like on the page of the San Jose Mercury News as the extreme home birthers.
Right. It was kind of funny.
It was around 2014 when the universal healthcare came out. They were saying the average cost of having a baby is like 18 grand. And they asked us, and we're like, I don't know, it was like $50 and stuff I don't have. And so it was an interesting article. It was picked up by several affiliate papers and syndicated across the United States and around the world. So next thing you know, we start getting calls from people who are tracking us down through Facebook and other social media and asking us questions. So
yeah. And then like Inside Edition called, and they wanted to do a story on our sixth birth.
Child. We had Inside Edition fly out.
Yeah. So they did like a story. So it was really an interesting thing, because the whole point of this is we like having babies. I love being a mom. I love having a newborn. I don't mind the diapers and the crying and all of that. Like I love it. For me, that's such a tender spot. And so that was the purpose of me telling you that. Is like, I really research those things and try to make sure like my kids have the best, safest experience and things like that. And so, fast forward, after all these things happen, I get pregnant with our 7th, total surprise. And I'm like trying to figure out what to name her, because I'm like 8 or 9 months pregnant. I'm like really pregnant. I'm in the backyard. Like, we don't have a name yet. Like, we need to know. And like, she's our 7th, so we got to make it good. And so I'm standing there, and my 2nd oldest says, well, you're all into affirmations and positivity. You should just name her Amazing. And when she said that, I felt her standing next to me say, that is my name. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't name you that though. So I figured I would tell Elijah, and he would be like, that's ridiculous. We're not doing that. Shoot it down. Well, I go in there to the garage, and I said, hey, what if we call her Amazing? And he stops. He gets the same confirmation. He's like, that's her name. I'm like, I know, but we can't do that, right? Like, she will get, I didn't want her to be made fun of, all these different things. And so looking back, and her name is Amazing, but we call her Mayzie for short. And so,
well, her name is Amazing, but only on one stipulation, and that's if we can make, because our last name is Rich.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if we name her Amazing, I'm like, only if we can make her middle name Lee.
No, Amazingly Rich.
And so her best friend's middle name is Lee, Leigh, and that is actually her name on her birth certificate, is Amazingly Rich.
Yeah. So it was a pretty incredible experience having that. And so every time you hear, your child's name is a special experience. But so fast forward through this pregnancy, and the labor was pretty rough. We almost lost her in the labor. And it was during the delivery process. And we both had that sense that she was gone. And so I feel like we did have a chance to be with her for those 5 months. And what happened was, we had been.
It was a little vague. So
it was a little vague,
but there were some complications at the birth. We were by ourselves. She came out, she was a stillborn, and it was a very long time later, miraculously, I grabbed the bulb syringe, and I was going to start pulling some mucus out of her nose so we could start CPR on this newborn infant. And right before I touch her nose, she sneezes. And my wife, she's like, trying to massage her, and she's, pleading that she lives. And it was just the craziest thing, but you could see the nose just go pink, and then like this line of pink just go down her head, and just pink, pink, pink. And she just watched her come back to life. And that was amazing. Yeah.
So fast forward, she was just a really amazing. See, now I say it all the time. You can't not say it now. So, but yeah, she was 5.5 months or 5 months, and she hadn't been crawling or anything, but I don't want to focus on like the story of it, but I think everyone, everyone's always like, what happened? So she had somehow like crawled into an unbreathable space. She had somehow crawled into a crack, and found her in the morning. And I thought that she had slept through the night, and I was really excited, and I found her. So I start screaming, he starts screaming, like I'm doing CPR. Like it was just kind of this, you can imagine like the worst case scenario, like in your emotions. Just my neighbors woke up because they heard, and my children were walking in and trying to see what happened. And he called 911, and I was doing this. And in my mind, I mean, we're both really religious people. And in my mind, like I knew God could save her. Like that was the thing that was the most hard, I think, was knowing like, and having such a belief that he could save her, because he had saved her. And I knew he had saved so many of our kids. All these different scenarios in your life where you watch miracles happen and you hear about the miracles. Well, this, when I was pleading and asking, please, the answer was no. And I wasn't expecting that. I just thought, no, I know that if I believe that he can save her. And as they were, they took her to the hospital and they were working on her, and I was there by myself watching, and I just, again, felt her next to me, and I knew she was gone. And that it was something that completely shattered our world, because in our mind it was, well, we love God. I had been doing Facebook lives for months when she, before she was born, and during, like, while she was here, she would always be on my lap. So it's like people knew her. People like felt attached and connected to her. It wasn't just me, like they knew. So I feel like a lot of people's hearts broke that day, because, and I've been told several times by friends that like their faith was tried, their belief system, and they were angry with God, because how dare you, take a baby from someone who loves babies so much. And that was like the biggest thing. And so kind of what I wanted to share was like, how do you, get through the pain piece of that when it's something that God can do, but it doesn't happen, right? And you don't have the miraculous ending that everyone thinks is gonna happen. You know what I mean? So so we came home, and we were flooded with people in our church family just poured in.
It wasn't on accident. It was,
no, it wasn't an accident. That's
because
like
a lot of
one thing.
people after a tragedy like that, they're like, hey, give me some time, some space. I knew I knew I couldn't take care of my wife and give her the attention that she needed. I knew we needed a lot of help. We have a very good group of friends. But in California, we were living in Lincoln, California. California's got this stipulation, or the stigma that says that it's California. It's a place where you're never alone, but you're never more alone, because everyone is so busy. It just seemed like they're in their own life. Well, at that time, everyone dropped everything they were doing and just came to help in whatever way they possibly can. It was the most incredible thing. I remember times when you're just broken and I couldn't give any more to my wife. I couldn't give her any attention. And I would just pray in that moment, like, Heavenly Father, just please help, send someone to help. And immediately, ding dong, the doorbell would ring. And I'm just like, and I'd walk to the door, and they're like, hey, we just want to check in on, see how you guys are doing. And I'm just like, and it was weird the first time, but after like the third or the fourth time, it was really like, I would just really just sit there like, please just send some, ding dong. And to a point, I finally opened the door, and I'm like, great, you guys are right on time. She's in the living room. And they're like looking at me like, and I'm like, yeah, she's in there. And they, okay. And they come in and they take care, they comfort her. So it was a beautiful experience to see how many angels were in our home, and these angels were the people that we could see and we can be with. So it was incredible. What else you got?
So
I'll just interject some stuff.
Well, yeah, he didn't know, but still, I was just thinking, because I think it's important that people understand, like, well, I go through this as a couple. It's not just me going through it, it's you. And so like people would ask me, well, what else do you need? And I'd be like, go put oils on Elijah, go put some oils on his feet, like go help him out. And then he was telling people to serve me and serve our kids. So I felt like people were serving us in such big ways. And also we were looking after each other. And a few things happened afterwards that helped me kind of remember and recognize that, like, there are no accidents, right? And there are, if she was supposed to be here, she would be here. And that was the biggest takeaway for me, was like, as I prayed and bawled my guts out to God and was like, why didn't you let me keep her? Right? Like, why didn't you let me keep her? And the answer came, I did. Like I did let you keep her. In fact, so for 5 months, it turned it into this feeling of like, she was not taken from me, but she was given to me as a gift. And that's not to say that I still didn't struggle with completely missing her every single day. And I still do. Like, I still struggle. I had some really rough days this week I told you about, right? Like where I was just regretting like certain things, because you go back to that. But I think the powerful scenario and the thing that really helped me was that perspective change of like, he got run over as a kid by a drunk driver, dragged for I don't know how many 100 yards, pronounced dead, and yet he is here today. My sister almost drowned. Like there's so many, you hear all these stories of people who almost die but they don't. And so that belief system for me really got secure and pushed. Every time I would think, oh, what if I had just ... fill in the blank, right? Like what if we had just done this? The thing that kept bringing me back to peace was the feeling of, if she was supposed to be here, she would be here, period. Like, and that for me was a big thing. So he started praying for experiences, because I was just completely in blackout mode. Like I could not function. I was just unimaginable pain, as I know you understand.
What was worse is me for a father and a husband is losing a child. That the denial is so real that doesn't happen to me. That's not my child. My child is still alive. There's no way that could have happened. And then, but it got to this point where my wife was just, now she's saying stuff like, I can't imagine going on living like this. I can't imagine continuing life like this. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I've lost a child, and I could very real lose my wife because the things that she was saying. And so I was watching her like a hawk. I mean, right after, after she passed away, after Mayzie died, our next youngest, Summer, she got a fever, and it was a really high fever, and my wife was up with her all night putting a wet compress on, and I fall asleep. I'm out cold. And then in my dream, I dream I'm in my bathroom, and all of a sudden Mayzie comes walking in. She didn't walk, but in my dream she comes walking in, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Mayzie, you're back. And she's like, and she says, yeah, I'm so excited. And I'm like, oh, you could talk too. And I'm like, and so I'm like holding her, and I could feel her chubby legs and her weight. And I'm just holding her, and I'm just like, this is the most amazing thing. And I'm like, and she's like, she goes like, yeah, but I want to talk to Mom, but I can't because she's up all night. And I'm like, okay, I'll go get her. I'll get her. And so I wake up, and I wake up, and I look over, and my wife is like glaring at me like this, like, who the heck are you to sleep when our child is dying down here? And I'm like, Mayzie came to me in a dream, and she wants to talk to you, but she can't because you're asleep. And she's like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go to sleep. You wait with Summer. So she goes to sleep, and that's where she. So I then have a dream of Mayzie, and she, same thing. She comes to me, and so I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing. And I'm a huge believer in dreams. I've had several. So I go downstairs, and she's in her little strawberry onesie, and she's just she's so excited. She's like, Mom, I love you. And I'm like, why is my baby talking to me? Like, and so I hear her go, that's not how you remember me. So then she stops talking, and she starts just communicating with me in her mind, because she could see it was weirding me out. So we're talking, and she says, Mom, I am still here, and I need to show you something. And I'm downstairs, but I'm looking around, and the whole room is like, looks like the inside of a heart. Like it's this breathing space. It's like, it's all pink and red, and just has like, just this glow about it. And it's alive. I'm in this pulsing room. And she brings me over to this bridge, and this bridge is like a fleshy bridge. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's then and you can see like a spiritual glow all around it, and it was connecting both of our worlds. And she said, I need you to see this. And so she shows me underneath this bridge, there's this water, but like these golden words start showing up, and it starts just telling the story of life and what's true and all these things. And I wake up. Well, in her dream, Mayzie hands her a journal and has her write it down. Did you?
No, that was in the morning.
Oh.
So I wake up.
My wife's memory is.
Oh, stop it! I have a great memory. It's perfect. So I wake up in the morning, or I wake up after the dream, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful thing. I wish I could remember. So I said a little prayer and I just said, Father, please help me to remember this, and asked for Mayzie to just remind me, like, please remind me what you said. I know it's important. And so I write it down, and just from, everything that I felt her saying to me. And so I had typed it up. And so I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
Because it was such,
Elizabeth, how much time do we have?
yeah. How much time do we have?
Just as much as you want. Just tell your story, and
Okay.
I'm soaking it up.
Well, and like, okay, so I called it the Heartbridge. So she says, our love is like a bridge across the waters deep, from my heart into yours each day. This is yours to keep. Eternally we're bonded, forever is its name, connected heart to heart, from heaven to earth and back again. I miss your snuggles too, Mom. I tell them all the time. Never did a mother love a baby as did this mom of mine. Remember how my eyes looked deeply into yours? That is how I told you the things heaven had in store. This bridge is very special. It's access lightning speed. The second that you think of me, I'm here to fill that need. I know you miss my body, my cheeks and butt and thighs. I miss your milk and how you held me, but the pain is just a lie. The lie is that there is loss, that death tears us apart. The bridge I'm telling you of keeps our spirits heart to heart. Please lean into our Father. He has much for you to do, to bring souls unto Christ and soften life for those who suffer too. I know you'll be back. I know it seemed too soon, but my time there was so perfect, and I'm just in the next room. The room of love and light, where peace and joy do keep, where angels really do exist and heaven never sleeps. Please love on all my sisters the way you loved on me. Anyone would be lucky to experience love so unconditionally. I love my daddy. He is the best and truly understands how all of this unfolding is God's eternal plan. Whenever you feel sad and wish you had me near, close your eyes and take a breath, and I will be right here. Talk to Jesus every day, the stories he can tell. He sits by you, Mom, as you cry, and weeps for you as well. He hears your pleadings and your pain. He sees how sad you are. He holds the keys of healing, and his healing travels far. With all you have, get back to me. It can happen every day. Teach our family one by one where I am so we can play. I love you so much, Mom. I wish I could have stayed, but it really was my time to go, no matter how you prayed. Find the beauty, find the good, and share it with the world. Again, I love you so much, Mom. Love your amazing baby girl. So that dream helped to shift me in such big ways, because I felt her connection. And she came to me 3 other times in 3 other dreams and showed me how she would have left. And she said, it doesn't matter how I would have gone, it would have happened. And so I think the message like that I would love to share is that of hope and connection, that we have connection to those who've passed on, that we have connection to heaven, and that as we seek that peace, like that is where it comes from. Like it comes through Christ. It comes through seeking and searching and wanting those kinds of experiences. People don't get those dreams, and I understand that this is a gift, and some people get other gifts in other ways, but I think that's the gift that I wanted to share from her, was that she came. So what else did you want to share?
So it was we were very blessed to be able to have 5 months with her. I look at that, my 5 amazing months with my daughter, is we could have lost her at childbirth, and there isn't a parent out there who's lost a child at birth who wouldn't give anything for a moment with their child. God gave us 5 months to hold her and to love her. I got to hear her laugh a week before she died. In California, you can take time off, paid time off, and I wasn't planning on doing that until the winter time. And I'd never done that, but in the winter time we were going to do that. Well, then my job, I do installation work, and our sales team quit. And for 3 weeks, I only had 2 jobs, which wasn't enough. And this is in September, which is usually one of our busiest months. And so I said, look, I can take that time off now, and then hopefully by the winter they'll have a sales team and we'll be able to stay busy enough. And so I did. It worked out perfectly. For 2 months, I stayed home. And for 2 months, every day, I got to go for a walk every morning with my wife. And Mayzie was there with us, and I got to hold her, and I got to be there. And it was such a gift, because it was 2 months later, I decided I got to go back to work. I got to go back to work. I wish I could stay here with my family, but I went back to work. And it was only 3 days after I went back to work that we woke up and she had she had gone on. And but I look at that, what a blessing it was to have 5 months. We have a lot of other stories, and I know I could
But
talk
yeah,
forever,
we
but
really
wanna be-
appreciate
honor your time.
you, Elizabeth, being just having us on here and letting us share, because it helps us heal. And I think that, you know, when I was looking at survivors, like one of the things that is so important was that certain, like doing those Facebook lives, that was what helped me to heal my own feelings, was being open and vulnerable and sharing the pain that was there. And it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy, but yet there's, you know, there is hope. There is hope for those people who are watching this, who are going through their own struggles, going through their own dark night of the soul, you know, where they feel like there is no hope, but there is. And so that's just what I would.
And don't hold back on sharing your story.
Right.
It's that pain that we share when we are open and we can be vulnerable. That's when humanity steps in, and regardless of whatever divisions that we're going through in life and that we feel that we're separate, we're from other people. Like my belief is that, you know, before in California, I believe that nobody cared about me and everyone was so busy. You know, it's like, you know, the place where you're never alone, but you're never more alone. That belief was shattered when we had so many people. We were just open to coming to the house, and people who'd wished us in person. It was unbelievable. It brings us all closer together.
You guys are kind of freezing up a little bit, but I think I think you stopped so I could talk. Okay, there you are. You're good. I love that. I hope I'm not interrupting. Were you guys done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Yours now.
I heard everything except for that last sentence, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't coming in. But thank you so much. Those stories are amazing. And how can you not say your name? You know, seriously, I didn't even try to say that, and then it just came out. So thank you for sharing. I have found the same, and so many of us survivors having this platform to be open and vulnerable is exactly that. It makes you face some of your grief and some of the things that you need additional healing, but then that connection and that there's just so much beauty that comes from that healing and vulnerability and hope, and that peace that can come, that we're not alone, that God is going to help us get through this. And it's usually through each other that is going to help us get through the things that are most painful. So I'm grateful for that, for you guys, and for sharing those stories with us. And yeah, you guys, this story will definitely help people. And so we're grateful that you came on tonight. I'm going to switch views here so I can just share to our survivor community that we are grateful for you to be following us, and we would love for you to connect with us. So please reach out. You can message us. We would love to know how we can support you, especially how you can, if you would like to do some type of service or some type of something in honor of your loved one, that we will be there to hold your hand right through it. So many of us have found peace and just have felt our loved ones nearby when we reach out and serve others. And so that's what survivors are, is we're serving while we survive, that we can also thrive through that. This month's project is community cleanup. Basically, just Josh Nielsen, and he's kind of the one that came up with this project because after he lost his little girl, he found that just as he would be on his walks trying to just work through and process his grief, he would see things that needed to be cleaned up in the neighborhood and just on the ground. And he started to, as he would clean that up, started to find some peace. As he started to help others, he started to find some reprieve and some healing from his own. And so this month's project is in honor of them and that story. And So we would invite anybody just to stop in one afternoon on your way home. You're not in a rush to do anything. If you find something on the sidewalk or in the park or something that you can clean up, just do that, and just know that you're helping the community become better, and that can always bring some peace to your heart, that when you're struggling, that serving others will always bring will always be a healing balm to some degree. So anyway, thanks again for joining us tonight, and thanks again, Elijah and Krissy, and we will see you next time. Okay, recording stopped. So all right, we'll see you guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.